What's good, YouTube? It's Nathan Xavier and we're back with another video. And in today's video, I'm gonna teach y'all how I grew out my undercut in only 8 months to get it this long. Like, past my eyes already. So let's get straight into the basics. What is an undercut? An undercut is when you kind of have like the sides and the back of your hair cut down very low while also keeping the top. It's also known as like a high top. Having a high top and growing out the sides is what I basically did. As you can see in these videos prior, I have barely any hair in the back and on the sides. The sides were pretty high up and the back was pretty high up. And even my front taper was pretty far back. So I decided to grow it out, and this is how my undercut looks right now. As you can see, my front taper is much lower, the sides are kind of pulled down, and the back is definitely a lot lower. So why did I grow out my undercut? I grew out my undercut because I wanted a more full look when doing braids, such as like cornrows, box braids, just any hairstyle. I wanted a more full look, but specifically for the braids because I want to rock braids a lot more. Now, the difference between having an undercut and a taper is that a taper is still much lower, especially on like the sides behind the ear. Mine's are a little bit higher. So technically I still have an undercut. It's just my undercut is much lower right now. The haircut I get with this undercut right now is a high taper. I like that with more hair, you can have a variety of options. I can do a lot more with my hair if I had more hair, which is why I grew out the undercut. I have the possibility now to even out all of my hair now that my undercut is pretty long, but I'm not going to do that as of yet because I still want my braids to like visibly look long instead of like really short. And my undercut right now isn't at that point where my braids could hang and just free flow. So I have to keep most of the top of my hair, which is much longer. So when I do braids, twists, coils, and all that, the undercut is kind of infused with the top of my hair and the braids will just appear longer. So that's why I'm continuing growing out my undercut and why I grew out my undercut. I'm not too sure when I will even out all of my hair, but I will get to a point where I will. How I grew my undercut, this is the timeline of how I grew my undercut. I started on September 20th, I'm pretty sure. September 20th was the last time I got a haircut where I cut all of the undercut and did like a drop fade. From September to December, I was only getting low tapers, or I wasn't even cutting my hair. I was not touching my hair at all for 4 months straight. I was just letting the undercut grow as naturally as possible, and yeah. Then in January, my undercut was long enough to finally braid into the top of my hair. So I did that the first time. I posted that video braiding my undercut for the first time. If y'all haven't seen that video, go check it out right now. There should be a little thing right here. It'll also be linked down in the description. So the first time I braided my undercut, I think I did it a bit too early simply because my head was hurting so much. It felt so tense, especially in the back, because the hair is just being like pulled into the braids just very tightly, and it was like, it hurt a lot. The braids look good. I'm telling you, go watch the video right now, or even after this video. Go watch that video after this video. You're gonna see. And then after that first time braiding it, I just continued braiding it more and more, either having it infused with the top of my hair or just braiding the undercut alone and having the top of my hair out. I feel like braiding the undercut has helped me a lot. It is one of the main reasons why my undercut grew so fast, along with a hair growth oil that I will go over later in this video. So from February to April, braiding the undercut, doing a lot of different braid styles now that I have more hair to braid with. So I did pop smoke braids. Those looked really good simply because I had more hair to do it with. If I still had the high top and did pop smoke braids, I'd look crazy. I feel like braiding the undercut alone helped with the tension. And now we're on to May, and this is how my undercut looks right now. Super long. I feel like it'll look better now that I have so much more hair in the undercut to put into the actual braids. I haven't braided it in a while. I think the last time I braided it was early April, and that was the pop smoke braids. I definitely want to braid it again soon. Braiding undercut part 2 video. Hey, if y'all want it, let me know. If y'all want it, let me know. I'm gonna measure my undercut right now, the front, sides, and the back, just to like have a definite length to tell y'all how long it is in 8 months. Because every year your hair is supposed to grow like 6 inches, around 6 inches every year. I think I'm at 6 inches, maybe a little less. So I'm gonna go get a tape measure right now and we gonna measure it. Now keep in mind, my hair is not at its full potential of length, as it is not blow dried or straightened. So this is just like a rough estimate. My tape measure, I kind of broke it. So it starts at 2, which 2 is actually 1 inch. And then 3 inches will be 2 inches. Like, just decrease down by 1 if it looks kind of confusing. It's right there. So it's a little under 6, which is 5. So my undercut is around 5 and 3/4 of an inch. Oh wait, no. I'm slow. That means the front is at 4.75 inches. I made a mistake. The sides might be longer. I can't even lie. The sides are at 6, which means that it is 5 inches. The back is also around 4.75 inches. So it's around 5 inches. Let's just round it up. Let's say my undercut is 5 inches right now in 8 months. That's amazing. That's pretty good. So now let's get into how you can also grow your undercut following the same steps that I did. So the first things first, no haircuts for a couple of months. You just want to let the undercut grow naturally, you know, let it form, let it take away that undercut shape and just have a bunch of hair. You don't want to get cuts. And if you do get cuts, keep it very minimal, like once a month, line up, low taper. The lowest possible taper you can possibly get. But I would just recommend just don't get haircuts at all for 3 months. Just the first 3 months, see how that goes. To the secret sauce, the hair growth oil. You can use any hair growth oil, it should help as long as you do it 2 times a week. I had a set day on Sunday and I had a set day on Wednesday that I would apply hair growth oil to my undercut and massage it in for like 5 to 10 minutes. It doesn't take too long. The hair growth oil that I use is obviously the King Curls hair growth oil. This has helped me a lot in my undercut growth journey. I will leave a link down in the description for you guys to purchase the King Curls hair growth oil as well. You don't gotta do too much. Make sure you're very light with your scalp, you know. You don't wanna like, you know what I mean? You don't wanna do none of that. And after those 3 months, let's say your hair is long enough to braid the undercut. Braiding along with the hair growth oil, that's like the dynamic duo. Like, that's like LeBron and Kyrie. That's like me and Lotion. Those two things will work hand in hand with each other. You're gonna see amazing growth after that. Like crazy, crazy, crazy growth. Just rapid, instant. The longer you keep it in the braids, the better it'll be. When you do have braids in, you can keep it in for as long as you want. I usually kept it in for 2 to 3 weeks before my scalp just became a snowstorm. So I had to take out the braids because I'm not gonna walk around with a snowstorm on my head. You know what I mean? I already get violated enough on TikTok for that. Don't miss out on some amazing hair content on there. Hair content, lifestyle content. We're just trying to, you know, be me. But yeah, just following those 3 steps like I was saying. No haircuts, hair growth oil, braiding the undercut. That's all you need. Less is more. And you will see the results, I promise you. So what are my near future plans and long-term future plans for my undercut? I'm gonna continue growing out my undercut. I'm not going to cut it. I'm just gonna keep growing it out, keep braiding it, keep doing the routine that I'm normally doing and the routine that I just put y'all onto. I definitely wanna rock braids a lot more often, especially with summer coming up. I feel like my head is just gonna feel too hot with this hair out all the time. So braiding it is gonna be nice, and we're just gonna try a bunch of different braid styles. And maybe in the future I'll learn how to do it myself and give y'all a little tutorial, but I don't want to. I don't want to right now, but I definitely want to eventually learn how to do it. Also, I possibly might dye my hair again, so the braiding styles, oh, I almost said the color. It's gonna fry my hair. My hair's already fried. You can see, like, I already have brown patches from when I dyed it before, but it's just hair. It's definitely not like my only source of like content. Like, yeah, it's for my long-term plans for my undercut, I'm definitely gonna even it out eventually, just not now. I think I'm gonna even it out once it's like bottom of my chin, a little bit past my chin. When it's there, the top of my hair is going to be like down to my nipples or something, and by then I can just trim off all this blonde, I mean not all this blonde, but all this like brown damage, just gone, and then I can dye it. So maybe my dyeing should be in the long-term process, but who knows? I still don't know, you know? As time goes on, things change, my feelings change, and we're just gonna figure it all out together. I hope this video helped a lot of you guys with your undercut journeys, or if you're thinking about growing out your undercut, I hope this has helped make your decision on if you're going to do it or not. The main things is just to be patient with yourself, be patient with your hair, and if you want to try something new, definitely do the research. Definitely do the research beforehand. That's what I did with my undercut. I did the research, saw what helped, what worked, and try it on yourself. You know what I mean? You never know until you try it on yourself. This has been Nathan Xavier. I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Hey, dealing with niggas like Bad Josh, he send a snack, can't snap back. Running the field like a halfback, reaching my backpack, we put your cat back down.
Okay, B-roll done.